What's up, people? In this video we're going to do something that doesn't make me, hopefully, question my faith in the human race. We're going to do this one. Most alpha males are actually very fragile, by David Goggins. I haven't seen the entire interview of him, but I've seen clips of this interview. The dude's on point, like straight up, about a lot of stuff. It's an old video, actually, but whatever, we'll do it anyway. Anyway, if you guys have any videos that you want me to
well, they start testing you.
that you want me to take a look at, I'm not muted, am I? Yeah, if you guys have any videos you want me to take a look at and give my expert opinion or in the moment reaction to, let me know, leave me a comment, because I'm just going off of what pops up in my feed, and it's a lot of the same stuff over and over. So like, give me some things I haven't seen or haven't done before. Yeah, anyway, this is interesting. Most alpha males are actually very fragile, by David Goggins. Let's take a look.
They're like, let's play this out, right? And there's that story where he makes you swim out to the boat.
On my own, Wednesday night. And that fucked me up because my knee was, it was broken. It was fucked up bad. And it's Wednesday of hell week, and all the boat crews are past the surf zone. And I just got a Toradol shot in my knee. And let's go, man. We're going. And it's fucking it's real late at night. And it was fucking raining, and the class is past the surf zone. And I'm still not a big fan of fucking water. The ocean is very unforgiving. And I had this big life jacket on, and SBG's like, hey, follow me, man. Should we run a mile down to the boat crews out past the surf zone? I'm thinking, hey, we're waiting for them to come on in. He goes, hey, man, get a Kim light. Kim light. Put on my hat and said, go out and fucking get him. And I was on my own. There was no swim buddy, so I can budge with a swim buddy.
Yeah.
And when he said it to me, I said, "Are you?" And my mom said, "This motherfucker is joking. He's got to be joking."
Well, he must have been thinking, like, I'm going to break this guy. Like, this is going to be the moment.
I think that's what it was. But now we're pretty tight now. And he said, "No, that wasn't at all." He said, "You're one of the only people in my tenure as a BUD/S instructor that I've ever done it with." He said, "I knew a person like you would have found this a challenge." And I had to dig deep because I didn't look at him and say, "Man, I'm not doing that shit." I think I could because there's no swim buddy.
Yeah.
You don't go out there Wednesday night after like 80 hours of hell week, and you're like seeing stars and shit like during the daytime. You're seeing boats that aren't out there. You're hallucinating all over the place. He sent me out there. I was like, okay, this is my time to show one of the baddest motherfuckers in the world that it's on. So I got my shit, man. I went out there and did it, and I detail it well in the book, but it was a moment that I started realizing I'm starting to separate myself now.
Yeah. So there's two kind of themes that emerge from that. One is this idea of taking souls, right? This sense that, hey, I came from nothing and I'm here amongst the best, and then starting to realize, like, hey, these people are human.
Right.
How can I get my tactical advantage?
Right.
And you explore this idea of taking souls, which essentially is going places no one else is willing to go.
Right.
Interesting, taking souls. I kind of want to, maybe I should read his book. I kind of like that. It's like, it's got a very like video game feel to it, like taking souls, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you just like take their soul. I don't know, it's kind of cool. It appeals to me for some reason. Maybe I'm an asshole. I mean, I am an asshole, but like, I don't know, I like it. I think when I was listening to that, I was thinking to myself, I was like, in our world, there's no challenges like that. Nobody challenges us to do crazy shit like that. Like, there's no hell week for us normal people in the world. There's no like stay up for 80 hours doing physical challenges and then go, I don't know, where you had to swim like a mile or something. That's a lot. Even with a life jacket, that is a lot. But there's no, like, what is there for us? Like, number one, there's no challenges imposed upon us by other people, right? There's no, like, okay, maybe for work, but like, what's the work challenge that you'll get? Like, have those reports on my desk by Friday, you know what I mean? Like, make some sales, or I don't know, raise the revenue of your department. It's all very like vague, kind of, you know what I mean? And that's even if you're lucky enough to like have a job or something that like that requests that from you, right? If you have a business, the I guess I would even say the biggest challenge of having a business or being self-employed is that you don't have a boss, right? It's kind of a double-edged sword in that, yeah, you don't have some idiot like breathing down your neck telling you what to do, but without that external motivation, sometimes it's hard to like keep yourself motivated. It's hard to like do what you I was gonna say what you need to do, but it's hard to like push yourself that extra mile because you don't have like, let's take his example for example, right? He wouldn't have swam out. Wasn't too clear about what he had to do, swim or something after being awake for a while. He wouldn't have done that on his own. He only did that because somebody apparently that he respected asked him to do it, challenged him to do it as a part of like a rite of passage, right, for like completing the Hell Week training or whatever. He wouldn't have done it on his own, so it's like, where do we get our challenges from? There's no challenges, really. That's an interesting idea that I just thought of actually as I was talking this out. It's like, what if that was like a business, you know, like, or like a plan or something for people. Like, let's say you want to be challenged in life, really, because I think that idea appeals to a lot of people. You know, I think it appeals to me at least, right? Like I'm, and I guess like what I could do is I could just look at the way my life is now, and I could place a challenge on myself. Say like I challenge myself to like do this, and this, whatever, and like see if I can rise to the occasion. But I think there needs to be some other factors at play, right? Like you need to be able to like, you almost need to like validation from a third party in order to be properly motivated, right? Like the Hell Week instructor thing, right? Like he wanted to, I'm sure, you know, from what it sounds like, he wanted to prove to the drill sergeant or instructor or whatever it is, that like he could do it, right? He didn't want to let him down, right? There is some of that at play, it sounds like. And if you're just doing it for yourself, it's like, you know, if you challenge yourself and you fail, it's like, well, who cares? Nobody knows about it anyway. Nobody knows you failed except you. And like, whatever, you like go, you know, do something else, forget about it immediately. But like, what about an organization or a community or a fucking app or something that like gives you a daily challenge? You know what I mean? Like what, I don't know, like do 100 push-ups or fucking go get contact information of 10 people that you don't know, you know what I mean? Or like go, you know, generate fucking $100, not through your job or business or whatever, you know what I mean? Go stand on the street and generate $100 somehow, right? By whatever, I don't know, something. I don't know, is that, leave me a comment, let me know if you think that's a good idea. Is that a good idea? Let me know.
Their heads, right? To get like the upper hand on everybody else.
When you grow up weak and you start to master your mind, because my whole thing is whenever I'm weak at something, whenever I'm scared of something, I master it. I was a weak-minded person, so I mastered my mind. And in mastering my mind, I mastered the human mind. And I realized why I no longer judge people, why I no longer put people on a pedestal, because we're all fucked up in our own way. We all have demons. Some people hide them better than other people. So I know we all have them. By me knowing that, I know the most alpha males are very fragile. Very fragile. They never want to see another person harder than them, especially in that kind of realm.
Ego attachment is very strong.
Ego will fuck you every time. Ego is serious. So if I can hurt your ego, I got you. So by me having such a fragile ego growing up, all this was my advantage. I was doing a live autopsy on how fucked up I was. I was like, hey, this fucks me up. I bet it fucks other people up too. So I started using all these different tools and tactics to get in instructors' heads and taking souls. That's what happened, man. We're Wednesday, freezing fucking cold. Everybody's jackhammering. Everybody wants to, everybody just want to get through it now.
Jackhammering is when you just can't stop
You
shivering.
can't stop shivering. You're sitting there just uncontrollably jackhammering. And the instructors take great pride in watching you suffer. They do. In a sick way, it's kind of funny. You were there once as a student, now you're an instructor. But I knew, how would I be thinking if I was an instructor? I would love seeing this sadistic shit go on. But what wouldn't I like to see? I would hate to see some guys just looking like this is just another fucking day on the fucking beach and go fuck yourself. I would hate to see that.
Yeah.
So
they don't want to think like when they did it, they were harder.
They were harder.
Yeah.
Everybody's harder. So I said, you know what, man? It's time. Y'all, I can't fight you. You guys can fuck me up all day long. That's your job. And I love your job. I love what you guys are doing. You guys make us better. But now I'm going to take the tactical advantage. I'm going to start fucking with you. So I got my boat crew, Bill Brown. I had Chris Kyle on my boat crew. Right. American Sniper. I had a couple of hardcore motherfuckers. And everybody right now is kind of like in their own world. Let's just get through this, man. I can't wait till Friday so we can graduate. How we can get going. I said, let's go ahead and have some fun. I said, we're going to start fucking with these guys. So the evolution here was we got to do a med check. We're stripped down to nothing. And they're checking us out, making sure we're good. Checking for pneumonia, checking for fucked up knees. My knees all jacked up. They're giving me shots and shit. And I was like the boat crew leader of boat crew 2. So I'm in the front of the boat. I tell our guys this we're going to do. The boat's like on our heads. So all it was. We're supposed to lift the boat up above our head. That's all you got to do. But when you're this weak, you're this fragile, you're this tired, the boat's heavy. So there's a thing you can do when you do boat presses. You can get the boat, like, just toss it up and catch it. And that shows like you're jacked up. So everybody's holding the boat and they're shaking. And the boat started to come down their head. And all the boat crews are all lined up and they're fucked up. And I'm looking at that and I turn around my boat and say, hey guys, it's time to fucking take some souls. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, we're
All right, so I think we can see where this is going. Like they do the boat presses. It honestly sounds like it's like from a movie or something. This reminds me of when I was in the army, right? Like, a couple things actually. Like the jackhammer thing. Like, yes, and this is all right. So when I was in the army, I'm not sure if like every military experience is like this. I wasn't in the SEALs or anything even close to that, but like when I was in infantry, and there are. Like, I guess if I could sum up my military experience in like a sentence or two, it would be you're put in situations where you have to perform regardless of how physically uncomfortable or mentally uncomfortable you are, I guess, and you have to do a certain job, really, which is why I guess discipline in the military is so strong, because if you take a civilian, right, and you say, do this, this, and this, they're not used to it, right? They're not like they're just softer, right? They're not used to doing it because they haven't been broken, I guess. And in the military, I don't know, my experience, like I broke like every 3 months. Like I was like a new low, right? Like you go, at least when I was in, like I said, I don't know, maybe it's changed, but you go for 3 months, let's say 3 months, you're like guarding some checkpoint or something, right? And like it's so draining on you mentally, emotionally, physically. You're just like, you just break by the end of it. You're like, they can't get any worse than this. Like, and after that, you're like, oh, okay, after that, like there's nothing I can't do. I'm fucking rock solid, right? And then you go to like, you do some like 2.5 month training exercise where like you sleep like for a week at a time outside, eating, fucking whatever, like K-Rash or whatever they call them in America, like food out of a cardboard box, basically. Sleeping, like freezing your ass off. You don't even sleep, really. It's like half sleep. You're like lying under the stars. It's beautiful, right? You're lying under the stars, like shivering, and you're like in that kind of state of like half sleep, half wakingness. You're very comfortable because you're like, you get to lie down and like kind of enjoy the rest, but you're not actually sleeping. But you get to enjoy it for like 8 hours, and you actually kind of feel the 8 hours. I don't know if that made sense. Whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But you break over and over and over again, or I did at least. But one thing that I remembered when he was talking about that is like, in the Israeli army, the way that it works is you have basic training, which is like 3.5 months. You have advanced training, which is like 4 months, and then you have like your first easy missions, I guess, or maybe it's 4 months, 4 months, 4 months, I think, with like little breaks in between of like a week or two, or a week actually. So in advanced training, basic training is like the basic shit, like run over there, run back, do push-ups, like they just try and like instill discipline. Advanced training is where they teach you more of the like actual tactical shit, right? So at the end of advanced training, you do what's called masakumta, which is like, you are supposed to march. It's like a full day of marching. It's like the longest march that you've ever done in your entire training. I think we did 60K. Took us like 12 hours, right? It's pretty intense. And it's this like big thing. Everybody blows it up. It's like, oh my God, masakumta. And like you build up to it. You do like a march of like 5K, 6K, 7K, 10K, 20K, whatever. So anyway, the masakumta, we're doing it, and you do it at night. You don't sleep. It's you're like up all night, right? Not as intense as this, but it's pretty intense. And the last like 3 or 4K, right? Oh, and before this, I should mention this, right? But before this, like I bought a couple energy drinks. They were actually Thai energy drinks. I think it's called M180, right, or M60 or something. I found them in like the central bus station in Tel Aviv, like on like the bottom floor. I thought it was this like semi-illegal energy drink. Turns out it was just like some energy drink from Thailand in like a little glass bottle. Anyway, I bought a couple of those, threw them in my bag, and I saved them. I was like, oh, the masakumta, it's so tough, it's so intense, like I have to, like, I'm gonna need these, right? Turns out I didn't really need it. I didn't think it was that tough, because when you're going for 60K, you march at like you're not like going balls out the entire time. You just can't. You have to pace yourself, right? So anyway, we're at the end, and towards the end, like, okay, you're pacing yourself fine, but you go for 12 hours, you haven't slept, like, you're going to kind of, some people are going to poop out, right? So towards the end, the last like 3 or 4K, I was like, all right, now's my time, so I like started drinking the drinks. I like remember, I was like, oh fuck, I have these energy drinks, I might as well drink them now, and like finish strong. So I drank them, and I was fucking lit up like a Christmas tree, man. I was like, my eyes fucking opened like this. I was fucking on one. And the reason I laughed is because I had it's called pakal maim, right? Which is like, you take when you do the marches, right? There's everybody has kind of their own specialty, where they carry like a little bit of extra gear, because that's just like, one guy's like the machine gun guy, one guy's like the grenade launcher guy, one guy's like whatever. Some people don't have a pakal. I didn't have a pakal because I broke my hand. It's another story, but I broke my hand when everyone was getting their pakal. So I would just kind of fill in the gaps, and I would like try and help out where I could, and like carry sometimes the pakal maim, sometimes the alumka, which is like a stretcher in case somebody gets injured, killed, whatever. So I'd carry, I had the pakal maim, right? And I'm like running back and forth, you know, because we're marching in like a line. So I'm like running back and forth, and I like ran to the back to like help this one guy who's like kind of out of shape. I like helped like bring him to the front. Like I'm like dragging him. It's very common for people to like run to the back and like drag people to the front or like push them or whatever. So my officer sees this, and he like calls me over. He was just like fucking my officer. It was so cool. It was like this like. I think he like watched The Godfather before becoming an officer, because he was like such a like mafia gangster guy. Moshe, what's up? I know you're not gonna watch this ever or even find this, but like, good officer. Anyway, he's like, Stu, come here. And I was like, what's up? Like my eyes are like this, right? Pupils probably like this big. And he's like, listen, what I want you to do, I want you to take everybody in the back. I want you to bring them to the front. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I did that, and I'm like running. I'm like fucking running full speed. And this is after marching for like 12 hours, right? So I'm like running full speed, grabbing people, taking them to the back. I'm doing this with like the fucking full like thing of water on my back, right? And I'm doing all this for like an hour, and everyone's looking at me like, what the fuck is like, what's going on with you? Like, what drugs are you on? Like that you're doing this? But I kept it up because I was amped, right? And then another story. I'm really sorry I'm telling all these stories, but I just reminded myself of something else, right? So at the end of advanced training, all of the companies, right? Because in the battalion, you have 3 companies, or this is how it was with us at least. We have 3 companies, right? I was in 890, and there was also 202 and 101. Okay, 101, they're generally thought of as like the best. They have the strictest discipline. They're like the fucking, just the most hardcore dudes, right? Like you fuck up like a little bit in 101 and they punish you like super hard. 890, the ones that I was in, we were like the like rah like crazy people, right? Like that was like what I was told, like very we had a lot of heart, I guess you could say. It's like that's generally how they separate. And 202, they just sucked. Sorry 202. Anyway, at the end of advanced training, we would have like physical competitions, right? Like we'd have like a tug of war where everyone would compete against each other. We do like relay races and stuff like that. So when at the end of the training, you know, like I think this was after the march. Yeah, it was after the march. We went back to the base, and we have to do like on no sleep, right? We have to do like all these like physical competitions now, and we go to do the tug of war with 101, and these dudes are gigantic. Oh my god! Like, and you know they picked the biggest guy. I was one of the bigger people in our company, right? So they picked me, and they picked like whatever 8 or 9 other guys. Bigger, but like the dudes in 101 were fucking like gorillas, man, like gigantic. And we're all just kind of like looking at them like, oh man, we're about to get fucking stomped by these guys. Like we're actually about to get like fucking pulverized by these fucking like Team Gorilla over here. And I don't know what it was, a sleep deprivation or something, but I got it in my head. I was like, I'm gonna fucking like just amp up our team and just like act like a complete fool and like just like get everybody just like super excited and try and fucking beat these guys and like psych out the other team, right? So like I start just like jumping up and down and like pushing everybody on my team and like slapping people. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna fucking kill them. Let's go. I have to like whisper, my roommate's sleeping. Anyway, and we ended up winning. We won. We stomped them 3-0. You know what I mean? And also like once I did that, everybody else got involved. Like I think like it showed them that like at least I believed we had a chance, or at least I was going to try. So it's like they can't not try, you know what I mean? Whereas like if everybody kind of had the mentality of like, oh yeah, you know, we're going to lose, it sucks, they're bigger than us, we have no chance, like nobody really would have tried that much. But then the officers got involved and like had this whole strategy. Anyway, whatever, this long tangent. Yeah, let's move on.
I go, see all these fucking instructors out here, all in their fucking jackets and drinking coffee and laughing and smiling and shit. I want their fucking faces to go straight up fucking dumb. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna start boat pressing this motherfucker. Just take my lead, trust me, you get energy from it. We start throwing this boat up in the fucking air, catching it, throwing it up in the catching it, and start yelling, can't her fucking boat crew too? We're yelling our fucking ass off, and we're doing it. And they make it stop. Like what the fuck, like stop. I look at these instructors, and their faces literally look like someone like just like took their soul out. I know their minds were like, they were thinking about themselves. Like, what the fuck just happened, man? I know me on this, I couldn't have done that. How are they doing it? So the rest of the time, going through Hell Week, it was like we owned it.
Right.
Boat crew 2, we won every single race. We were just dominating, and it was a strong boat crew, and that's where Taking Souls is. There's a few Taking Souls stories, but that's one of them.
Yeah, and part of that is learning how to be a leader. Like when you're dealing with these alpha males and these huge egos, there's this tendency to just try to outshine the next guy, right? You tell an example, there's another guy who kind of proceeds along that path,
right,
and he realizes very quickly that he's not going to make it because he doesn't know how to build camaraderie with the other guys.
Right. Talking about Mr. Dobbs. He's a good friend of mine till this day, and he went into that place, man, and I knew where he was going. This is my 3rd Hell Week, and I knew Sean real well, but I knew he was real arrogant. He had a serious chip on his shoulder like I do. I still do. I got to control every now and then. It got me in a lot of trouble sometimes, but I knew he had it. I knew that chip on your shoulder not being controlled, it will get you fucked up, and it cost him a lot going through buds. And I saw the look I saw the look because I once had a look when I was going through pararescue school. When something got so hard and your mind can't process the hardness, you don't know the right tools to get through something hard because you've never been challenged before. I could tell he was a superhuman. That nothing ever challenged him. But I knew, because I already been through it a couple times. I knew, motherfucker, don't underestimate that shit. It will find a fucking demon. It will bring out some insecurities in you, and it did. And it was like maybe 30 hours in the hell or something like that. I'm looking over at him, and I smile at him. We're standing just like this in line, and he's getting his med check. The doctor's looking at him. And it happens to be beautiful timing. And I'm sitting there, I'm getting med checked, and I'm looking at him, and his eyes says he's 1,000 yards still looking right through me. And he's getting med checked, and I'm looking at him. And before all this happened, I told him, I said, don't underestimate this motherfucker, man. He was, I can't never see myself quitting shit, Goggins. I go, watch out. Watch out. This motherfucker will get in your head. I go, the end is a long way away. So we're sitting there eye to eye, and he didn't see me. I'm right in front of him. And I can tell he's thinking he has that quitting mind starting up. And I look at him, I go, I told you, motherfucker. I told you, motherfucker. And next thing I knew, man, a car pulls up, and he rode out.
Rings the bell.
He rings the bell and he quits. But it was he's a great human being, hard motherfucker. It doesn't make you, when you quit something like that, man, it's a huge lesson learned that I can't go into anything thinking that there's nothing that's not going to get in my way. You got to be prepared for all those obstacles.
Right. Well, on this theme of the reader being the
All right. Another story. This just reminds me of like all my military stories. Like a couple. When I, like, okay, so I'm American, obviously, right? But I moved to Israel to join the army. It's like a foreign, what do they call it? Foreign, I don't know, volunteer, basically, I guess. Anyway, whatever. I moved to Israel, became a citizen, 22, joined the army, and when you normally, like other people who also did what I did, when you come from abroad specifically to do this, as opposed to, let's say, staying in the West, staying in America, which is a country arguably with a lot more opportunity than like going to some fucking tiny ass country in the Middle East, like to go serve in their like what the fuck are you thinking? Anyway, the point is that you go with a lot of motivation, right? You go with like a lot of like, you want to, like, I wasn't going to just like, sit around and do nothing. Like I wanted to go fucking get some shit done. Like I wanted to like be a super soldier, you know what I mean? I wanted to be in the best unit possible. So when I ended up joining, I wanted to be in this unit called Duvdevan, right? Which is like, they go house to house, they catch bad guys, they like become experts in hand-to-hand combat. They're just like known as like being very ferocious, right? I was like, that's what I want to do. That's my shit right there. So in order to get into these units, you need to pass a physical test, right? It's kind of like a mini Hell Week, I guess, except it's like 3 days, or I don't want to say it's 2 nights. I think it's 2 nights. It's like 3 days, 2 nights. And you need to get through the entire thing, first of all. And then if you get through the entire thing without quitting, then they interview you. And then if you pass the interview, then they get you are accepted into the unit. It's called a gibush, right? Which means like crystallization or forming, like the actual noun forming, whatever, anyway, doesn't matter. So I went to the gibush, and what everybody told me, they were like, just don't quit, like just get through it, right? They said just get through it, because, and I heard this many times, like I knew people, this is them talking, I knew people who finished the gibush, they were last in everything, and they still got into the unit because the instructors liked them and they saw that they had heart. It's like, okay, fine, like I'm not going to quit, like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, like, stick my chest out, I'm not going to quit. I'm like Mr. Fitness guy. Even back then, I was like, I'd always been fit, like, had already worked as a personal trainer. Like, I thought I knew my shit. So I go into the gibush, and, in the military, you wear boots, right? And in Israel, they use European sizes for the shoes, or boots also. And I still wear size 12 shoes, so I did the conversion in my mind. I was like, all right, size 12, that's 46 in boots, and so I got size 46 boots. I should have broken them in, stupidly did not, but didn't really wear them until the gibush. So when I started wearing them, when the gibush started, I realized very quickly that they were about 4 sizes too big, because when you wear boots, especially leather boots, they're going to stretch, right? And something about how the boots are, I don't really know, but like they're just bigger. So anyway, the point is that the boots were like fucking, I had like this much room in my boots. So I couldn't run properly. I was wearing fucking clown shoes, you know what I mean? So I actually was last in everything. And not only was I last in everything, but because there was so much extra space in my shoes, every time I would take a step, my foot would move so much that the back, like let's say this is my, whatever, I can't do it, but like the heel of the shoe was like rubbing against my heel with every step. so maybe like 2 hours into the gibouche, I had fucking a gigantic blister. Like, it wasn't even a blister. It was like the skin was like rubbed off. It was gone. It was fucking red. And it was just rubbing the entire time. Every step was like agony, which is something in the army when you do marches, like that happens. You get used to it until you learn the trick of like taking, it's this like waterproof tape. It's called Lycoplast. You take this waterproof tape and you put it on your heels, solves the problem instantly. But until you like figure that out or somebody tells you, you think that every march you go on, your fucking heels are gonna get rubbed raw. Okay, there's all these little tricks with the boots and marches and shit like that to not destroy your feet. Anyway, for 3 days, I'm like running, and not only am I last with everything, but like my feet are like rubbed raw, right? And the instructors, they try and get inside your head, right? Like, it's exactly like what he said. They're sitting there, they're drinking coffee, laughing, they're like cooking food in front of you. You haven't eaten in like 36 hours. They're like, you know, like whatever, cooking fucking, I don't even know what they're making there, but like, I forget what my number was, but like, the gibouche is basically like, okay, run over there, run back, a lot of that shit, right? And everybody had a number. Nobody knew what anybody's name was. It was all just numbers. I forget what my number was, but like every time I'd be the last one, and I'd be the last one by like a lot. Like, they'd have to wait for me, you know? And they would like call out the numbers, like, okay, 6, 8, 13, 14, and they'd look at me and be like, and like, oh, like they tried to make me quit, you know what I mean? They tried to get inside my head. I was like, no, I'm not quitting. Fuck it, I don't care. I'll be last every single fucking time. I'm not gonna quit. And I didn't quit, right? I got through the entire thing. Unfortunately, I didn't get into Duke Devon because this is my rationale later on. Like, the thing with Duke Devon, because it's such an intense unit, because they beat the shit out of you in training every single day, you need to be very close with the people who are in your unit because you support each other, right? So during the interview, they asked me, because they could tell that I barely spoke Hebrew and I was like an immigrant, right? They're like, so you decided to come to Israel and join the army? I was like, yeah. And they're like, first question they asked me, they're like, well, what about your friends back in America? Like, did you like care about leaving them or something? And I was like, this is what I said. I was like, my friends? I was like, fuck my friends. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do. Which is not the right answer to give in that, you know, for that unit. They're like, oh, okay, thank you very much. But like in my mind, I was thinking like, you know, my friends, they all got their own shit going on, right? They're not interested in joining the army. I'm not going to like let my friends who are like all further along in their own path than I am dictate what I do. Like, okay, my friend is like doing whatever. Like, I'm going to stay and be his friend because like I feel bad for leaving him. Like, I gotta live my life. You know what I mean? Wasn't the right answer, clearly. So didn't get in, but oh well. I had a good time. Not really, but you know.
The hero here, like what is the takeaway on the stealing souls thing? Because that's one of the challenges.
Well, there's a tons of takeaways with that one, man. It's about finding energy and strength when you have none. Like a lot of times in life, like that situation right there, man, it's the worst time of your life. There's energy all around us that we think that we have to have. It has to come externally a lot of times. We have like a TV in front of us, watch somebody, listen to a podcast, listen to a great music. A lot of times in life, it's fucking quiet. And those are the times when you want to run and hide. You gotta be able to find energy. You gotta make up games, make up tricks, make up whatever you can to get to the next evolution of life. So taking souls is just another way. It's not about hurting the person you're against. It's about finding a tactical advantage in every situation you fucking physically can to get to the next. You're trying to inch further to the goal line. And you don't want to go.
What is that goal line?
The goal line is whatever it is for you. For me, I want to get through Hell Week. I want to get through Hell Week with my head up high, being strong. I don't know what the goal line is for everybody. My goal line has been very different for most people. But you're trying to find energy and strength to stay in the fight, to continue on until you get that second wind. The second wind is coming. Whatever the second wind may be for you, it's coming. But what happens is we get so stressed out that the end is so far away that we just can't find another foothold, another handhold, so we jump off the cliff and we fall. There's another one. You got to find it. So taking souls is one way to do it. You know, like,
well, they start testing.
Interesting. I kind of want to read his book. I might buy his book. Let's see. What is? That's interesting. Like, I'm just thinking of Can't Hurt Me, Mastermind, Defy the Odds. I wonder if I can find a free PDF of this shit. Sorry, David. Interesting. Am I muted? No. Okay. Taking souls. I kind of like that. Like, here's the thing. It's like you need, in order to really, I don't want to say succeed. Let's say succeed. In order to really succeed, you need to be a little bit sadistic, right? You need to kind of be a fucking maniac a little bit. You need to, like, what's this, like, remember what I said in the beginning of this video? I was like, oh, taking souls, that appeals to me. I like that, right? Like, I want to take somebody's fucking soul. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my initial reaction. Do I actually like want to kill somebody and like take their kind of, but like no, like I don't know. I kind of do. But not really, obviously. But like in a video game, it's fun, you know, to take their soul, whatever. But you need to have that like I was thinking about this the other day, right? It's like when and okay, so to be fair, he's saying that taking souls is what it really is, like the like focus on the actual procedure of doing that, right? How do you actually take somebody's soul? Is you find a tactical advantage in that situation so that you can I guess get inside the other person's head and make them doubt themselves, and once you've beaten them mentally, you can beat them in whatever situation you're in, right? Or you can let's say achieve your outcome instead of them achieving their outcome, right? But I was thinking the other day, it was like, because I'm like slowly, like too slowly, like inching my way towards like getting more and more into pickup. Like now that I'm in Israel, like I do some approaches, like I've been going out a lot more, like I approach at parties now, and it's like the other night I was at it's the holidays now, and there was a holiday like 2 days ago. It's called Simchat Torah, which is like, it's one of these holidays where it's a party, right? Not all of them are parties, but this one is like a party, drinking, dancing, like all this shit, and it's a total scene, right? So I was like, I'm going out to these parties, and I was like, I'd like walk by the event, and there's like fucking 100 people outside, everyone's talking, and you're immediately, or I am at least, immediately overwhelmed, like, oh, I don't know, like these are the thoughts going through my head. It's like, I don't know anybody here, everybody's looking at me, I look weird, like I don't know, I don't belong here, kind of thing. It's like, fuck, like, so I like walked down the block, like had a panic attack, and like I was like, all right, fuck it, like I'm just gonna do 5 approaches. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go in, do my approaches, and we'll leave. That's it. Done. And I went in and I did it. It was fucking awesome. It was fun. It was like great. Oh my god. Like I met like some of the people not so interesting. I met some really cool people, really interesting people. Right? I was like, oh wow, that was a pretty positive experience. But it's like that. It's that battle every time. Would I say that like I took their souls? Probably not really. I was really just kind of shooting the shit, just chatting with people. It was pretty easy, actually, now that I think about it. But that was kind of like, that was like an easy playground, you know? The more difficult playground for me, what I'm thinking, what really bothers me, or like, you have certain situations where things are easy, and it's easy to gravitate towards those situations because you more or less, like I want to say low risk, low reward. It's not really low risk, low reward. It's just low risk, really. Well, let's say low risk, low reward, right? Like approaching somebody at a party is kind of low risk, right? It's like people are there to fucking talk to each other. Like that's why they go there, right? But like, say I walk by a restaurant, you know what I mean? And there's like some people sitting outside. There's Tel Aviv, tons of cafes outside, right? It happens many times a day. Fucking 10 times a day this happens to me, right? I'll walk by a cafe. I'll see like some group of fucking stunners like sitting outside. I'm like get like the blue screen of death like in my brain. I'm just like as I walk by, and I'm like, fuck, I should talk to them. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't do it, right? Why? Because number one, it's weird. It's just weird. You walk by a cafe, people are trying to enjoy their food, and like just like go over and start talking to them. Number one, you're like interrupting their meal, is what you think, right? That's number one. Number two, you're like doing it in front of the entire fucking restaurant. Everybody's sitting outside. That's number two. Everyone is going to hear what you say. Everyone is going to watch your fucking awkward, like bumbling approach. Like, hello, like, I just wanted to. It's like, oh God, right? And then not only that, like people who are walking by, people like walking behind you, they'll notice you doing it. So like you have this entire audience, right? That's a much more challenging task, let's call it, than just like, I go to a party and like walk over, oh hey, I just want to introduce myself. You know what I mean? It's like it's different in degrees of challengingness. Anyway, why was I talking about this? I don't know, the idea of taking souls, I guess. I don't know, I kind of want to buy his book. Okay, cool. I like David Goggins. I feel like I need to watch David Goggins videos every day, just for myself. Anyway, what do you guys think about DG? Have you read his book? What do you think about my app idea, like the daily challenge or something like that? Is that good? Like, would anybody do that, do you think, or not really? Anyway, let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.